Okay, good morning everybody. Today is March 2nd and we are back. We're going to talk a little bit today about the American Cancer Society, a little bit more about them, and we're going to give you a little bit of history on them, where they started, and kind of what they've done over the last 110 years since they've been around. So yeah, they've been around for a while. And just, some of the things that they've done. And I've kind of compiled a list. They actually have it all listed on their website, so it really wasn't hard. I didn't have to do a lot to find it, so that was pretty cool. But anyway, so let's get into it. So like I said, they have been around for 110 years, which is great. They've been doing a lot of good stuff. Over that time frame. Let's see, it started in 1913. They were founded then. In 1936, the Women's Field Army was formed. Let's see, they basically, it's stated that they saved lives by raising awareness about cancer and as a major health concern during that time. Throughout the 110-year history that they've been around, they've raised federal funding for cancer research to $6.9 billion. Like, that's a lot of money. Like, a lot of money. To give you an example, a lot of people, when they think about, like, money, they don't really put together, like, the difference between, like, $1 million and $1 billion, okay? So, like, to give you an example, 1 million seconds is 11 days, okay? So, and let's see here, make sure I tell you right. Yeah, so 1 million seconds is 11 days. 1 billion seconds is 31.7 years. So if that puts into perspective the difference between $1 million versus $1 billion, like, there's a drastic difference there. So like I said, they've raised $6.9 billion over the last 110 years, which is for cancer research, which is awesome. Let's see, in 1947, a grantee, Sydney Farber, they were a medical doctor. Let's see, they discovered the first successful chemotherapy treatment, which was great, because that's done a lot of good work. I know it's really hard on cancer patients, chemotherapy is, but at the same time, it's really hard on the body, but it does kill the cancer a lot of times. It gives them, a shot at, surviving. And over the years, from what I've been able to, figure out, they have, made strides to work on chemotherapy to where it's not as bad as it was when, obviously when it first came out. And I mean, it's changed over time. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's gotten, like, drastically better as far as problems with it, but I mean, I think they have tried to develop the research behind the medication and stuff to kind of help cancer victims really be more comfortable and stuff with it. So that's kind of what that is. In 1948, they pushed for wide adoption of a Pap test. And what that is a test that helps with cervical cancer, and that decreased cervical cancer deaths by 70%. So that's pretty awesome. I mean, 70%, that's a lot. Let's see, in 1954, they did a study, and that linked lung cancer to smoking, which dropped smoking in that time period by 50%, which, that's good. They were able to identify a problem, and by identifying that problem, they solved the issue to a degree. I mean, they were able to, decrease the percentage, and who knows how many people they, unknowingly, technically, saved because of that decrease. I mean, who knows how many people didn't develop lung cancer, because of, they realized that, hey, smoking's probably not the best thing I should be doing with my body, so therefore they quit smoking, and thus they didn't get lung cancer. So, let's see here. In '73, they funded studies that proved that mammography was the best test for early detection of breast cancer. As much as it as awful as it is, ladies, it's still best part. So, sorry. Hopefully, at some point they'll figure out something else that's even better. So, yeah. In 2019, they launched Bright Edge, which is the it's the venture capital arm of the American Cancer Society. For those of you who don't know, venture capitalism is basically where large investors kind of just come in and get behind things like like this, like different societies, different businesses, small businesses, different research setups to kind of give them funding to be able to fund and invest and give back to to the world with their wealth. That's like if you look at Mark Zuckerberg, he actually donated to a hospital some of his money, and so therefore that would be considered venture capitalism. So therefore he donated some of his money to a hospital. It also would be considered philanthropic. And I mean, there's been several people that millionaires, billionaires over the years that have done a lot of good with the money that they have. Let's see, in 2022, they celebrated the 50th ACS-funded researcher to win the Nobel Prize. So that's neat. It's pretty awesome. And in 2023, they established the Center for Diversity in Cancer Research Training with the goal of increasing diversity and inclusion in the cancer workforce. So yeah, basically the ACS kind of just, I guess, came out and was like, look, if you want to work in cancer research and you want to get trained in cancer research, we'll get behind you. We don't care what color you are. We don't care what your gender is. We don't care what we don't care what your sexual orientation is, or whatever your deal is. If you want to get in on, cancer research training and get into this field, we'll take you, basically. Because like I said, their whole mission in life is to, fight the disease, make it easier for people to have the disease, to deal with what they have, push the research forward as fast and hard as possible. So, yeah, that's kind of why I was like, when I saw this pop up on my Facebook feed, as far as the ride, to raise funds for them, I was just like, you know what, that is something that I can get behind, because anything that fights disease and helps out other people, I can get behind that. It's all good. There's no, that's a non-question, and I'll do anything I can to try to push it forward, because honestly, when it comes to things like cancer and other diseases that just honestly, they just destroy human life. And that's just something that we as people, we need to, we honestly just need to get past whatever differences we have, and we need to work together to push it to the limit, to beat whatever this is. And whether it's this or malaria or other viral infectious diseases, whether it's West Nile or COVID or whatever it is, we just, like I said, we've got to get past whatever differences we have, and we have to work together to save people, because there's only so many of us, and eventually, if we don't band together on things, we're just gonna eventually all die off, and then the world would basically just fall into itself. But anyway, like I said, so that's basically just some stuff about them that I found, and yeah, so yeah, that's the video for this morning. So I hope you learned some things, and if you want anything else, just leave some stuff in the comments. If you've got any questions, that's great. I'll try to answer those. I'll leave the link for the GoFundMe in the description, and I'll also leave the link for the ACS website in the description, and we'll keep on moving on, and I'll leave a video for doing the 10 miles today. So we'll talk to you later.